The US are really trying to ban Somali immigration for 25 years.
And I request that our government supports our child care centers and stop this heinous crime and this hate that's happening around our state.
How did we get here? How did Minnesota Somalis get to a point where the President of the United States is using his full power, and he feels comfortable using his full power to attack us?
The American politician called Brandon Gill has introduced a bill called the Somali Immigration Moratorium Act. The bill would pause immigration from Somalia for 25 years by amending US immigration law. This bill would basically block most new visas, green cards, refugee and asylum protections, and work permits for Somali nationals for 25 years.
You know, they came from a place with nothing, and they come here and they drive around in Mercedes-Benz.
Welcome to Galmudug, state of Somalia.
This guy seems to believe that the Somalian government claimed some land in Minnesota and it's theirs to govern now. This meeting's in Minneapolis, Minnesota, at the Safari restaurant, which is associated with the Feeding Our Future scam.
The restaurant claimed to serve more than 3.9 million meals to children in a 19-month span, even using Congresswoman Ilhan Omar in a promotional video in an alleged attempt to show legitimacy.
Farhiya Khalif Mahmoud. Farhiya is my leader. We'll lead this country together. When I say now, she became state representative Galmudug.
I want you to understand what this guy's saying. He's saying that Farhiya Khalif is his leader. He is a member of the Galmudug state, not a U.S. citizen. He's a Galmudug state citizen in Minneapolis. Farhiya Khalif is his government leader. This is the definition of an insurrection. She was appointed as the governor of the Galmudug state of North America, and this is the celebration that they had, and everybody was like, yeah, Somalia.
Welcome to Galmudug, state of Somalia. We all together on this one. We've been living here for long. We're gonna lead this country together. When I say together, means me and you and us, inshallah.
You know who needs these Somalis to be in the United States? People in Somalia. Because in 2023, remittances to Somalia alone totaled $1.7 billion, which is more than the entire Somali government budget.
The fact that a community with a combined IQ of about 63 was able to finesse the United States government out of tens of billions of dollars with no oversight or accountability is insane to me, because I can't even go tax exempt all year without the threat of fucking the IRS coming and getting me and locking me up and seizing all my assets. Like, what are we paying taxes for? I guarantee you that about 90% of our debt is fraud. It's enriching others. And we are literally the purse and the slaves of the fucking world. And none of our politicians care, because they're in on it too.
Here's a harsh and sad reality. When you have a Minnesota governor and a Minneapolis mayor simping for Somalia instead of simping for American citizens, there's no hope for that state. That state is gone. You might as well say that the United States only has 49 states, because it's no longer governed for the benefit of Americans. It has now been taken over by Somalis. Anytime any residents of that particular state is residing in a state that they feel no longer protects them as citizens, as residents of that state, all hope is gone. They might as well just pack it up and try and look for other states that are going to accept them. And especially being in other states that will respect them as Americans, because Minnesota is gone. You might as well say that we have 49 states. We no longer have 50, because Minnesota is no longer governed by Americans. It's governed by Somalis. That's the sad and harsh reality.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Thanks again for tuning in to Profess. Really appreciate your support on this platform. All right, Somalians in Minnesota are losing on all fronts right now, because what they relied on for decades in the US, actually, in their fraudulent activities with their empty daycare centers, has been busted. Right now, the news on the block is that there is a proposal for a bill of banning Somalis for over 25 years from actually coming to the States. And this is crazy. No other immigrant community has ever actually gotten to this extent. This shows you that Americans are tired. They are actually tired of being taken for granted. Especially the American government is tired of Somalians coming to America and finessing the government instead of actually working hard, paying taxes and contributing to the American economy. Black folks warned y'all, but you never listened because y'all wanted to be Arab so much. You were out there on social media shouting on top of your voices that you not black, you Somali, you just Arab. And then the Arabs actually told you, no, you are actually not in our league, you're not in our levels. Then you changed your tone. You started saying that you're not black, you just Somali. Really? How is that actually getting you all to? Because you disrespected black Americans by mocking them. We all still remember the videos of the Somalis mocking Americans, telling them to go work so that they can actually enjoy their taxpayers' money and, live for free, finesse the government. But let's take a look at exactly how black Americans are responding to this. I'm gonna be back with more commentary after this. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, hit a like button. Let's take a look. I'll be back.
Why is everybody beefing with the blacks lately? Lately y'all been beefing, y'all been not fucking with us, but now the Somalis got problems. Let's come on, bro.
Your own communities, y'all said you had your own culture, separate from us. So now that you're in trouble, you want to claim blackness?
You want me to advocate for a group of people, for a community that, generally speaking, collectively does not refer to themselves as black.
There is a real tension between the black Americans and the Somali Americans. Yes. After the recent political attack.
TikTok supports white supremacy, so do you. And I went to your following. And unsurprisingly, I saw all those conservatives that you were following. The black community is not attacking Somali people. This administration is attacking Somali people. The black community is calling out the Somali people like yourself that even though you are seeing this administration call you liars, thieves, criminals, and are trying to deport you, saying that your IQs are inherently low, you are on the internet talking about black Americans. In fact, you don't have a video going over all the things this administration has said about your people. Instead, you have opted to demonize black Americans. There are many definitions for what you are doing, but black Americans have another word for this. I actually don't like that word, but you have a wonderful day.
I have a question to ask Somalis, and this is really a serious question that's kind of been on my mind. So I got a question for y'all. Since you don't want to assimilate in Western culture and Western society, you gravitate to your Islamic Muslim ways and your Muslim culture. Why don't you guys ever flee to these Arab countries that you gravitate to and that are more aligned with your culture and your belief system? Why is it that you guys never flee to any of these Arab countries? I don't see you guys going to the United Emirates. I don't see you guys going to Dubai. I don't see you guys going to, Qatar. Why aren't you guys going to these Arab countries? Why is it that you guys continue to flee to all these Western Christian-based countries and wreaking a lot of havoc? Another question I have to ask is, since a lot of you Somalis say that you're not African, you're Arabs, you gravitate more to Arabs, where the Arab people now defending you? I don't see them coming to your defense. Where are they? Why aren't they speaking up for you?
So before anyone repeats stereotypes about Somali immigrants or any foreign group, they need to understand the system they're entering, because America has always built its wealth on Black Americans while importing other communities into a hierarchy designed to place them above us.
Okay, I got a question and I need a serious answer from the Mali community, okay? What the hell is this Jareer shit y'all be talking? Because I've heard some different things. I've heard, oh, it just means hard hair. Then the way that I see it used in comment sections is kind of like, I feel like it's more like saying an N-word. Or it's like, maybe it's like saying nappy hair. But then why would you, but then I don't know, it's not, the context just don't feel, it just feel a little bit more racist than that. You know what I'm saying? Because hard hair, if you really translate hard into in hair in English, it actually does not make sense, because hard is like this is hard. This is not hard. This is not hard. Hair cannot be hard. So what the hell does this Jareer shit mean?
This message is for those in the Somali community. I don't know if you got the memo. I don't know if it arrived yet. But in rushing to get this memo to you, this message, because we had the feeling that you had this expectation that you wanted us to fulfill. And we sent in this memo, we simply said, hell no. Now, in rushing this memo, getting you this message, we left something very important out. And I apologize. I'm sorry. You can blame me. But what we left out is you are starting to notice that Black Americans are no longer saying African Americans, or you're hearing it less. It's because we have done so much work here. We fought corruption here. We fought the Ku Klux Klan here. We fought the government here. We built the infrastructure. We fight the red line through real estate to keep us in the fucking ghetto. We did a lot of stuff. And the stuff that we did and the work that we put in, it makes no sense to say that we're from somewhere else. Especially when that somewhere else doesn't even want us. And to make it worse, when you're over here in our backyard, you don't even want us in your community. So that being said, we don't say African American, or I don't. Let me speak for myself. I don't say African American. I say Black Native American. And that's not to take away from the work that everybody else does with, like, my ancestors, not to disrespect anybody, but we're here today and we had to fight to be here. And my people is not going to fight and die here to raise their children here to turn around and say that they're from somewhere else. No, that doesn't work, especially when you let us know that we're not welcome in your community. So again, I apologize. That I also wanted to put that in the first memo, but again, we had to rush to get it out to you because you thought we were coming to your rescue. So you're on your own, but you'll be all right. You'll definitely be all right. I know the struggle is real, but it's nothing like what we had to go through.
I have a bone to pick with humans, right? Because religion, me and my son, we were having a discussion about religion. And my question is this: how come, I know we live in a Judeo-Christian society, I have a question. How come when one Muslim, so the imam was like, Black Americans, they don't even know their dads. And people were like, Islam this, Islam that. How come when the priests do stuff, nobody's like, Christianity this, the Christians? But when one Muslim do one thing, God forbid there's a Muslim who's violent. Oh my God. It's a religious war now. We're going to war. How? You know what I mean? Like, why? Can somebody explain that to me? I know we're in a Judeo-Christian society, but you would think that with all this diversity that people will be a little bit open-minded. I mean, there's a lot of Muslims here. You know, and help me. Just help me. I don't get it. One Muslim says, well, black Americans, they're not da-da-da-da. Now it's all of Islam. That's one little country in Africa. We don't know that, man. You know what I mean? I know Muslims, black Muslims. I know white Muslims here in Atlanta. They don't even know nothing. They don't got nothing to do with that man. And then another bone to pick. The Somali people were like, oh, they coming after us because we're black. Didn't y'all say y'all weren't black? Humans. The whole time they were saying that they're not black. We're not black, we're Arabs. We're not black. That's what, am I right or wrong? Now they saying why the black Americans not siding with them because we don't have no daddies. I'm tired. This is just too much. But back to what I was saying, because the KKK, they Christians. Matt, let me tell you something about the KKK. So I met this white lady and she was like, yeah, I was going to this church in Smyrna, Georgia, which is kind of Atlanta. And she was like, the church was great, she was growing, and she said one day she was leaving and she's talking like in the parking lot and she heard somebody say KKK and she was like, am I hearing things? She was like, am I hearing things? So she asked somebody, was like, what did he just say? And she said the lady was like, he said KKK, you know. And she's like, no, I don't know. But she's from the north. And she said they were like, yeah, we're the KKK. And she said, what the heck? She said the way she ran out that church, but she looked at me, she said, you know what? The scary thing is that they were police officers, they were lawyers, they were like teachers and doctors. She said, what? Georgia is different. But yeah, so with that being said, you know, people don't be like, well, Christianity and the KKK over there talking about spare me over for another year after they done hung a black man. What? It was literally like praying to God, asking God for this and that, for blessings after they felt like they were doing what? But nobody's like them Christians. But a Muslim do one thing, it's over. It's the Muslims, they're taking over. The Muslims, that's y'all just wow.
Right, there you have it. Actually, if that isn't instant karma, I actually thought that Latino community were the community of immigrants that was actually getting instant karma, was actually getting their for moment of their lives. But Somalians just wanted the title because, you know, I haven't seen any other community that is so arrogant, that has publicly shown their arrogance and ignorance, and even tried of mocking American citizens, American taxpayers, telling them to go work their behinds so that they can sit around at home, enjoy their taxes in free welfare and Medicaid and Section 8 and drive Mercedes Benzes, while Americans are working hard to actually afford a living. We see a lot of Americans who are actually struggling even to afford a month's grocery in this economy, yet Somalis are ripping off the United States government, especially in Minnesota, by running fraudulent daycare, empty daycare centers, and, you know, fraudulent welfare businesses. You know, this is crazy. This is unacceptable. The government right now is not taking this lightly because, as we have seen in this video, there is a bill that has been announced to actually, ban Somalians from ever coming to the US or immigrating to the US for over 25 years. I've never seen this happen to any other community before. That shows you exactly when you have effed up. You effed up. Black Americans are not going to help you all, because as soon as all these immigrants community, mess up and they find themselves in deep shit, they actually want to call on Black Americans for help. They want to call on Black Americans to join the fight, to join the protest, to stand with them, because apparently right now Black Americans are in your circle. Well, who has actually forgotten about y'all claiming not to be Black? Black Americans haven't forgotten about that. You claimed that you are not Black, you are Arab, but the Arab told you that you're not in their league. Their league is actually the League of Billionaires, the League of Arabs, the United Arab Emirates. So when you actually got rejected by the Arab League, you started now changing your tone. You started changing your language. You started saying that you're not Black, you're just Somali. What is just Somali? What is that? Because Somali is actually a country in Africa, in East Africa. So what is that? What is that actually? What is just Somali? Because everybody knows that your nationality is Somali, but why are you mixing race with nationality? It doesn't make sense. That shows exactly how racist you all were against Black folks, especially in America. As soon as you get there, you started calling them lazy. You started calling them, as if they don't work hard, they don't do anything. You started actually looking down on them. We all remember that video of the Somali imam or Somali priest, or let's call it that, so that the people who don't know imam can understand. Imam is actually like a Muslim priest telling his own congregation that Black Americans do not have fathers. Yeah, that Black American women just have different baby daddies, and the baby daddies actually just run away. This coming from a community that actually, on average, each man has like 3 to 4 wives that are minors. Really? You want to educate Black Americans about family issues? We all know that you all go ahead actually marrying, underage, and it's illegal, but you've made it illegal in your own countries. So bottom line, Black Americans are tired of y'all. They are not coming for your rescue. They are not coming up to help y'all, because y'all have shown an arrogance that is actually to another level, to the point of going on and, forming your own states and saying that you do not actually support the leaders in Minnesota, that you have your own leaders. We all have seen the video of Grumnalak. I don't know what kind of state is that, but they're trying to say basically that they have their own countries. You are welcome to somebody's country, and then you go ahead and form your own state, and you basically think that nothing is going to happen to you. Yeah, that is exactly why you're getting deported. Black Americans are not coming to help you all. And since you all actually want to be Arab so much, why aren't the Arabs actually helping you all? Why are they not actually taking the Somalis who are being deported into their countries? And there is a creator actually who asked a very good question. Why aren't these Somalis running to Muslim countries? Why are they not running to maybe Saudi or UAE or Dubai or Egypt? Why are they not actually running to their brotherhood, to their fellow Muslim countries? Because even in Africa, most of you will be running to Kenya, which is actually a Christian country. Why are you not running to Sudan or Egypt or Morocco? It doesn't make sense. That shows you exactly the Arab League doesn't want you all. and y'all want to make yourself special by isolating yourselves from the black community, from the African on the continent, trying to make it seem as if you are special while you are actually committing fraudulent activities and stealing from Minnesota and the US government, because the remittance in Somalia is crazy, bigger, way bigger than the Somalian government budget. Have you seen the numbers? Over $1.4 billion in remittance. That is money and funds that are being stolen from American taxpayers. But let me know in the comments, guys, what do you think about today's episode? Subscribe to the channel if you're new, hit a like button, and as always, see you on the next episode.